Hey everyone, I am so glad to be here with you guys for this Tips from the Top series. My name is Jamie Haskin. I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and I get to talk to you guys today about duplication. And I want to ask, what comes to mind when you hear the word duplication? It's likely something very simple, something like teaching other people to do what you're doing, or maybe you're duplicating what the people before you are telling you to do, right? That's the beauty of One Plexus and what we have with this company, that we get to learn from the people who've gone before us. We get to learn from the people who have been there and learn from their experiences, right? We get to duplicate. So this is an important concept, and there's a lot of depth to this actually, beyond just the basics of this business. But we will start with the basics really quick. And an easy thing to start with in terms of duplication is duplicating the systems that we have. We all have systems. You've likely joined a team that has systems that they are plugging you into. Plexus themselves have systems. We have a brand ambassador community group that has systems that you can utilize when being a part of this business, right? So the easy thing to do is just duplicate what works. So being proactive, taking ownership, plugging into what you need to do to grow your business. That looks like, how you're reaching out, how you're sharing, how you are in social media, onboarding, personal growth, what you need to do on a daily basis to grow your business. How you work matters, right? So there's some examples that I can think of would be how you share and bring people into Plexus. They're learning right away from you on how you bring them in, and they're going to naturally do what you do. So what are you doing when you bring them in? How are you talking to them? Are you using any verbiage like you can quick try the products? That's something I always warn against. You can be talking about trying them, and you might have some people only want to try them for a month, or you can set the tone for long-term health, on consistency, on the big picture of what they need to do for the long haul to get to the root issues of their health, right? Have you given them the big picture of what Plexus has to offer? We have two things with Plexus. We have the health products and we have this financial opportunity. Are you talking about one, or are you talking about both with everybody? If you are talking about this and you're excited about it, then likely your team and the people you bring in with you are going to also be talking about this. How are you following up? Are you asking them questions and troubleshooting and helping them work through their health problems? Or are you maybe giving up a little quick and you're nervous to ask questions or dig deeper, right? So what you are doing can duplicate, and there's lots of skill sets to learn with this. So be proactive in those things so you can duplicate them down. How are you plugging them into the resources that we have? Your team page, how are you showing up in that? And then of course, the Plexus Brand Ambassador community group that I mentioned. Whatever your team does, plug them in the way that you need to plug them in. So whether you are new here or you've been around the block a time or two with Plexus, how you are showing up to learn and to grow matters and duplicates. So there's even more depth that we're going to get into right now beyond just that surface level. But before I do, I want to encourage you with 3 things before we move on. And this is going to be helpful for this video and what we're talking about here, but also for this whole series. I want to ask you guys to be coachable. I want to ask you to be honest with yourself as you hear questions and what I'm going to be talking about, but on this whole series, be honest with yourself with where you're at, what you might need to change or grow in, and then take action, because this is only as good as, you moving beyond this and actually taking action after this call and after this series, right? So why is duplication important? When we duplicate well, we can create a solid foundation for the growth of your business. Duplication is a part of the whole process. It changes it from being something like sales quota and goal that you want to get in a month to true residual income, to creating business builders and leaders. You're not doing it alone, right? You're duplicating yourself in what you're doing. So what are some things that you want to duplicate? I'm going to ask this question again later. So think about that and reflect on this after the call. But for me, what I want to duplicate, when I thought about that myself, what came to mind were things like being growth minded. I want my people to want to work on personal growth and be growth minded. I want to be consistent. I want to duplicate great community and culture. I want to duplicate developing leaders who develop leaders. I want to be coachable and have big vision and big belief, strong work ethic and positivity. That's a big one. So what is this for you? And then with this, how are you either currently working towards duplicating these things? What are you doing about it? Or how do you need to show up in order to duplicate those type of things? That requires ownership. What are you going to do? And it's not just the basics that get duplicated, right? It's the good that gets duplicated in what you do, but it's also the not so good. So how you think and your posture matters. Those things duplicate beyond just the actions. So are you hardworking? Are you positive? Are you excited? Are you encouraging? Are you growth minded? These things are contagious. But the other things that are as well are things like being negative, complaining, finding way out of things. Are you leaning into problems? Are you leaning into how to work? Or are you pulling back? Are you making excuses? Because people are going to follow your lead. What about blaming? Do you tend to blame your upline or your downline, or maybe even corporate? How you react when things don't go how you would like them to go, when you miss a goal, when things are tough, how you react has way more influence than you may know. So how do you react when times get tough? How do you show up, or how do you not show up, right? Are you showing up consistently? It is highly unlikely that you will have someone join you who's going to show up more than you do. So how are you showing up? And it's not just about showing up in one day. It's not just about showing up here and there. It's about a period of time. It's about the consistency over time. And it's your job to teach people how to show up. And even before that, being coachable yourself, right? Do you have assumptions about others? If you have assumptions that might hold you back from maybe asking them or letting them know about the business, or maybe helping them move forward in a certain area, and maybe that's getting duplicated down. Are you putting limitations on yourself? Are you thinking, well, I'm not good at that part, or I can only do this, but I can't do that like she can? What limitations are you putting in yourself that you are then not acting and moving forward in things that maybe are out of your comfort zone, but will help you grow, that will create a team that works out of their comfort zones to grow? How's your visible leadership? What are you doing in the team page or on team calls or on book clubs? Can your team see you engaging? And are they duplicating that? Are they doing that? Modeling what needs to be done is important. And then sometimes you got to dig deeper and you got to talk to them about it too. You are creating all kinds of habits all the time. Which ones are good? Which ones are harmful? The bad ones will hurt your business. So identify them, capture them, and make the necessary changes. You are creating the vibe for your team, and you play a role with your larger team too, good or bad, right? So we know that actions duplicate. We talk about that a lot, but we also know our mindset also duplicates. It also plays a role. It's a big role. So what you think about yourself, about others, how does that affect what you do? How do you work with people? What do you avoid? There's a reason that they say more gets caught than taught. We have to lead ourselves well before we can lead others. We have to lead ourselves well before we can lead others. Can't talk about duplication without talking about those key points, because how you show up for yourself matters. And if you have mindset junk rolling around there, it's likely affecting those around you. It's affecting certainly what you say, what you do, how you move forward, right? So what are you going to do about it? What you think, what you say, and what you do all duplicates. And I'll ask you again, what do you want to duplicate? Whether you are new and just getting started or you're leading a jewel team, this applies to you. You either have people linking arms with you right now or you will. So wherever you are, I want to encourage you to take some time to reflect on these things and answer these questions. And think both about actions and mindset. So number one is, what are you duplicating well? Number two is, what are you duplicating that is hurting your business? Number three, where are there some holes in duplication? And finally, number four, what are you going to start implementing today to strengthen the duplication in your business? Thanks for listening, guys.